Hello, good evening, and welcome to Ghana Connect.
We've been able to grow our staff from 8 full-time staff to 25. We've also been able to build our first affordable prototype, which will be retailing for around 80,000 Ghana cedis.
We've been able to move our method of hydroponic farming in Ghana from the idea stage into production and sales.
There's now a firm recognition amongst governments and international organizations that the development of entrepreneurial talent is key to addressing the challenges of unemployment.
Tonight, Ghanaians doing great things. This week, the president gave a cash prize to 2 young female students who invented a potential multi-million-dollar solution to a major global problem: menstrual hygiene among girls in poor communities across the world. Simple enough, but if you consider that in 2015, 113 million adolescent girls in India alone were at risk of dropping out of school due to the start of their first period, then you begin to appreciate the potential monetary value of this invention. There are many more great Ghanaian stories of citizens doing great things. But why are we still a million light years away from producing the next Mark Zuckerberg? Tonight we bring together some of these unique Ghanaian stories for a conversation on achieving the Ghanaian dream and overcoming the challenges that keep our potential Bill Gates and Steve Jobs local and poor. We connect after the break.
Promo way there, I had the. Sabi gusu yusu mi mumu no. If you say MTN echimache there no, edi atu table. Brand new Samsung 65-inch UHD Smart TV. Na brand new 2019 Hyundai. And I feel 3,000 Ghana there. You should go say mono. MTN Momo. Still, Misaka, the journey of 1,000 smiles. Yashasiya 10 years ago. And to celebrate this milestone, MTN give you away exciting prizes in the MTN Momo Attend promo. Yeah, you use Momo no. You could win one of the 2019 Hyundai i10 cars. Yes, some or Samsung Smart TVs probably. And they up to 3,000 cedis e-cash every month. And a grand prize, 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe in the MTN Momo Attend promo. Into signing on and they keep using your MTN Momo. Now when it big, if it's happening, I could see August only on Ghana's best network. Dial *120# a check your points. Terms and conditions apply. Just Momo it. We're there for you everywhere you go.
The Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited's Back to School promotion is here with us again. From the 1st of August to the 30th of September, Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited is giving a generous 10% discount on all school items like textbooks, pens, pencils, erasers, exercise books, and much more across all our branches in Accra, Tema, Kumasi, Takoradi, and Cape Coast. Parents, teachers, and students, please hurry while stocks last. For more information, call us on 0302 764 101 or 0302-764-209 or email info@kingdomgh.com. You can also visit our website www.kingdomgh.com. Kingdom Books, where quality and affordability are both assured. Terms and conditions apply.
We wish all our Muslim customers a joyous Eid Mubarak. Get everything you need at ShopRite's low prices. Like a 1.2 kilogram of Sadia whole frozen chicken for only 15 Ghana cedis, 99 pesos, and a 1.5 liters of Vitatop Multifruta juice for just 9 Ghana cedis, 99 pesos. Prices valid until 12th August, only at ShopRite. Lower prices you can trust always.
Honey, I need to get some.
But I don't have cash on me. Let me get some fuel quickly and let's go.
And how are you going to get the fuel? I thought you said you didn't have cash on you. What is this one?
My Puma card.
All it takes is a card. The Puma card allows you to buy fuel cash-free from all Puma energy filling stations. You can use your Puma card with any Visa points of sale and ATM across the country. The Puma card also works on mobile money. You get amazing discounts when you fill up with your Puma card. So register for free and get your Puma card instantly at any Puma filling station.
And you only got one for yourself, eh?
Yeah, would I have had my piece of mind?
Oh, thank you. I'm getting something from the shop real quick. I need to test the card.
Puma Card, cash-free convenience.
Thank you very much, Mr. Evans Manson. I listen to you every day, and I encourage you and thank you for all the educative programs you mount.
And you are live on Joy 99.7 FM, and this is Ghana Connect. This week, Ghanaians doing great things.
Founder of Hive Earth, an eco-friendly construction company where we use locally sourced materials such as laterite soil and stone to build affordable and eco-friendly structures. Since coming fifth in last year's presidential pitch competition, we've been able to grow our staff from 8 full-time staff to 25. We've also been able to build our first affordable prototype, which will be retailing for around 80,000 Ghana cedis. And we also have a waiting list of over 250 off-takers that are ready for us to build their homes for.
With an amount of 30,000 given, we've been able to move our method of hydroponic farming in Ghana from the idea stage into production and sales, through which we've been able to employ 7 people, 5 contract workers, and 2 of which are full-time workers.
Well, the president this week gave a cash prize to 2 young female students, and the 2 voices he had there are just examples of some of the great ideas Ghanaians are championing in this great nation of ours. And the 2 young female students who won the presidential pitch invented a potentially multi-million-dollar solution to a major global problem, menstrual hygiene among girls in poor communities across the world. They created sanitary pads from banana and plantain fiber. Yes, I'm sure you've heard their story on Text Thursday here on Joy FM. It sounds simple enough, but if you consider that in 2015, 113 million adolescent girls in India alone were at risk of dropping out of school due to the start of their first period, you begin to appreciate the potential monetary value of this invention. And this is just India, by the way. A World Bank report, UNICEF report actually said that in Africa, 1 in 10 girls drop out of school because of the challenge with, accessibility to sanitary pads. Now, there are many more great Ghanaian stories of citizens doing great things, but why are we still, as some have suggested, a million years away from producing the next Mark Zuckerberg? Well, we'll bring together some of these unique Ghanaian stories for a conversation on achieving the Ghanaian dream and overcoming the challenges that keep our potential Bill Gates and still jobs local and often very poor, but with very great ideas that sit sometimes on shelves, on university, in libraries, etc. We want to get to the bottom of this and see if collectively we can get them to a place where they can compete and rub shoulders with the rest of the world, because these ideas really are tremendous. And so connected with me in the studio is the winners of this year's presidential pitch, fresh graduates from the KNUST, Emily and Matilda, and they created the sanitary pads using banana and plantain fiber. I wonder how they did that, but thank you for connecting. We'll hear their story shortly. I'm sure you've heard it already, but we'll get to the heart of it. Try and find out what their own Ghanaian dream is, what they want to do with this potentially multi-million-dollar invention they've come up with. We'll also connect with Jeffrey Yeboah, the founder, Ripples Decor and Design Limited, an indigenous young Ghanaian firm specializing in upcycling of automobile waste, mainly tires, for interior and exterior decor. Jeffrey, thanks for connecting.
Thank you so much.
When I was growing up in my slum neighborhood, tires were fun. Only when you push it. We used to, roll the tires and jump on it. You have you done that before?
Yeah, several.
Okay. I didn't think that you were a hustler like myself. I didn't think that we could turn tires into very valuable, abandoned tires and use tires into such stuff that you're using it for. We'll hear your story shortly. Joshua, also connecting, created an app that allows you to switch off your electrical appliances when you are out of the house. If you're as busy as I am, sometimes you forget that you've put off your iron. Well, he's invented something you can use to switch it off remotely. But the thing that really got me is the invention that allows you to monitor your dustbins. Yeah, I'll explain shortly. You monitor your dustbins wherever they are, know whether it's full or not full. He'll explain it. We need that in this country because walk around and you know what I'm talking about. We'll also be connecting to Designer's seat occupancy system. The seat occupancy system helps to track the number of people occupying a commercial vehicle at all times. Imagine the accidents that we have in this country because of overloading, and that app can help you fix it. He'll also connect with us on the phone. And we're grateful to also be joined by Irene, Administrator and Gender Representative at the Business Development Ministry. Hello, Irene. Thanks for connecting as well. Wherever you are tonight, I want you to get connecting. This is how you can get in touch.
Join us now on Twitter, #Ghana Connect Live, Facebook, Joy 99.7 FM, or send us a WhatsApp on 0244 340 437, and we will call you back. Join the nation's biggest conversation now and connect to authority.
Okay, so wherever you are, please get in touch. The best ways are 0244 340 437. It's a WhatsApp line, but also go on to Twitter, #Ghana Connect Live, and get the conversations going. I need to start from one place, really. Emily and Matilda, you're still in school. I initially said that you're just freshly out of school, but you're still in school. What are you both studying? Get closer to the mic for me, please. What are you both studying?
Okay, so I just recently completed.
Oh, you completed. Oh, okay.
Yes, but Matilda is still in school.
You are still in school. You doing what?
Business administration.
I thought you were doing some sciences or something. What did you do?
I'm reading civil engineering.
Oh, civil engineering. So whose idea was this? The first of all, I need to get to the bottom of this. Where do you get the idea from to use banana fiber and plantain fiber, which something that we see all over the place, right? Stinking and causing pollution. But you decided, where did this come from?
Okay, so we actually noticed the loopholes that we have in the usual sanitary pads that is available on the market. And so we were considering replacing the materials, which is the absorbent core, with something, a locally made material, or a material that can be found.
Absorbent core?
Which is also absorbent.
What was that? It is the thing that absorbs the...
Yes, please. So with the usual sanitary pads that we have,
the
absorbent core refers to...
the blood. Yeah. Bad man. Very bad man. No wonder you use cat eyes to do things. Yes, go on.
The absorbent core that I was referring in the sanitary pad actually has to do with the cotton and the cellulose-based gel, which is being found.
You have to slow down for us. Me, I don't understand what you're talking about, but I think I get a general gist. You explaining. Go on.
Exactly. So we looked at replacing the absorbent core with a material which is equally absorbent.
Okay.
And during our research, we came across the banana fiber, which is an equally absorbent material and can be used for that purpose.
Interesting. So you thought, okay, so the motivation was trying to find something that was
something which is readily available something which we can process and recycle, and something which is also eco-friendly. Yeah, so these were our three main targets that we wanted to achieve.
Okay, and you found the banana and plantain. This is the peel, right? The peel.
Okay, so it's actually the stem, the pseudo stem. Okay. It is very fibrous.
Okay.
Exactly. So not the peel.
So that's what I imagined. Like, when you eating banana, you peel it and then you use that. But that's not what it is.
That's not.
So that is the stem.
Yeah.
Okay. So you after it's been cut, you take it out and you use it for that purpose.
Exactly.
Okay. But so this might have taken quite a while to find that it's a. Did you think about the problem that we've all heard about girls dropping out of school? Did that play a role in this consideration at all?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
Tell me about it. Do you know if you have a personal experience that sort of inspires you? They say necessity is a mother of invention. Maybe you've had it, I don't know. What was it?
Okay, so...
Apart from the scientific explanation she's giving, was there a practical, reason for this?
Yeah, so growing up, I actually stayed with my mom. And during her menstruation, I saw her use rags instead of sanitary pads. And so when I got to the university, I realized that we have most girls in rural areas who are suffering from this basic menstrual hygiene, their inability to afford this basic menstrual hygiene product. And so
a UN report said 1 in 10 girls in the continent will drop out of school just because they can't afford the pads to use when they are in their red.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're talking about some incident that happened with your own family, your mom?
Yeah, my mom.
Okay, and so that sort of just registered in your head that you need to do this.
Yes.
And so tell me, just walk me through the process of now that you've figured out what you want to do. You found, of course, the banana and plantain stems are all over the place. How did you get to convert it into pad?
Okay, so if you're actually going to walk through every single rigorous process.
No, simplify. You have a factory. What was it?
And finish talking about it. So basically the fiber, the stem, which we refer to as a pseudo stem, they can actually be obtained from either plantain or from banana because they all have similar characteristics in the stem. So after it has actually been chopped off, you realize that after farmers have taken off their produce, that's the banana or plantain, they usually discard the stem and they burn it off. So that's the very waste that we actually pick up. And so first we extract the fluid from it and then try to obtain a very dry, fibrous material out of it. We process it further into something which is very comfortable, which is very soft. And then we also think of the covering and the aesthetics related to it. So that's basically the process.
Okay. So when it comes out, the final product looks like the normal part?
Usual sanitary part.
The usual sanitary part. Exactly. You find the difference until you're told that this is from... interesting.
Exactly.
I mean, Joshua, let me hear your story. Please start with the one about the what do you call it? The invention that has to do with monitoring the dustbins, because I'm very fascinated by that.
All right. So, good evening to our listeners, and good evening to IoT Network Hub members. So, the inspiration behind the smart bin had to do with the same story.
Smart bin, you call it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, the fact that you walk across the street, and bins are full, and we don't know who is supposed to take it. But then I get involved in a lot of hackathons. So hackathons are activities that are organized for people to come and solve problems.
Okay.
So they come here for like 2 or 3 days, and they're supposed to come with a solution.
But this time using computing tools.
Yeah, using technology.
Okay.
So most of the present solution we all observed had to do with sanitation, which had gone a long way to impact our economy, our health, societies, and everything. So the drive was if we can fix this problem, which had to do with easily collection. But we realized that when we get full and we don't dispose it, we keep dumping and it turns into a refuse dump. Before we realize everybody start dumping there. That's how it starts.
True.
So if we could notify the collectors whenever it's full, or if they can even monitor it live whilst they are dumping, and whenever it's full, they get to know where they are. They can be able to manage their routes.
Oh, so it also has location. It has a location
too as well,
okay.
And it's also powered by solar.
Oh, okay.
So we don't have to worry about power anymore. So this will help them to plan their route. Currently, the route that they plan is weekly collection. So whether the bin is full or empty, they still have to drive the cars to collect.
And you're wasting fuel. It's not efficient, etc.
Yeah. So if we can, and all we need is just the data, like information.
Yeah.
Information is the most important thing. If you can communicate that information to the collectors, it can help them plot their routes in collection.
Yeah, I mean, so the bin in front of Joy FM is full. You're sitting in a distant location in whatever, and then you see it on your screen. It's full. Okay, let me move my car there and go and pick it up and go and dump it. The reason why this was fascinating to me, recently, I think the sanitation ministry has started distributing dustbins. And something we've been calling for ages, a simple solution to our filth problem. And I've seen some of them around, and I drive and I see that the bins are full and the waste is now spilling onto the floor and nobody's picking it. I've seen one bin particular has been there it's so full, and people are now, as you said, it's as if around it, it's becoming
a refuse dump.
Yeah. And I'm like, why can't we just pick this thing up? Possibly. They don't even know that it's full.
Exactly.
And if we've forgotten which particular places the bins are, this can be a solution for that problem.
Yeah, it is.
It's so well, but there's more that you've invented. We'll come and talk about that because there's so many. You won awards, etc. Sure. Prizes across the country. Let me talk to the man who used car ties. You can only do this if you are as a Kobolo as myself. Because where did that inspiration come from?
Well, I was in Commonwealth Hall, University of Ghana, Legon, and
no wonder.
And things were very difficult. I mean, I was patching from here and there, so I started a little business on campus just to sustain myself. That was when I went into interior decor. By then, I'm some hustler who just cleans people's rooms and lay your bed, but I call myself an interior decor. So over time, my work grew out of campus, and people wanted wallpaper, and I was outsourcing furniture for clients as well. So a client by name Akwesi Bonsu wanted a center table. We were roaming the street of Accra to get a center table. We couldn't get a particular one that he wanted. He wanted something round with an African touch.
That sounds like me.
Which we couldn't get. The ones we got were way expensive, because these were products from Lebanon and some other places. So as frustrated as he was dropping me back on campus. When we got to Jowulu, Royal Fiesta, they had packed some heap of car tires, and they had set fire in them. So they were about 100, if I could just rough count. And
the tires?
Yes. The black smoke that was emanating from the tire had clouded the whole space, so the place was dark. And it looked like a normal thing, so people just rolled their glass. Some were coughing. Those who were doing the burning themselves were coughing. So, and I'm a talkative, so I just told the guy that, yo, do you know we can make the table that you want out of the curtain? I was like, oh, massa, leave it there. By then I was just saying out. But he was thinking about it afterwards.
Okay.
So when we drove past, he parked and asked if I was serious about what I said. And I'm like, yes. So okay, he's giving me a challenge. He's going back to pick one, put it at the back of his car. He will take me to campus and give me the tie for a week. I should make a table out of it and come and give it to him. So that was where the whole story started.
Do you have a picture of that table?
The first table, I have a picture of it.
You on the phone somewhere?
Yes,
I like to see that's a conversation going. And so you did a table out of it?
Yes, I did a table out of it. I just took how do you call it? I just went to Medina. I bought a glass because of course every table needs to have a surface. So I bought a glass and then I put it on it. Then I realized, okay, this thing is too short. So I bought furniture legs and then I put beneath the tie. And I realized it is still a tie anyways. I need to perfect it. And I went to Furniture City and I bought their spray cans, those graffiti spray, and then I sprayed some parts. And it was looking good. So I just gave it to him. He was like, okay, he likes it. I should make it some more. So I made more of it for him, about 5. And then as time went on, if I get any client and I finish doing your room, I make sure I give one to you as a freebie. But what sustained me is the narratives, because I wanted people to know what they are consuming, what I'm giving to them. So I took pictures of where I got the ties from, as and when I'm doing it, and the final product, so that you appreciate it. Because the
story behind the tie.
Because I wasn't selling it, but I was giving to people as a freebie. But then I realized I was even creating more problem than even solving it.
Why?
Because when you spray, it doesn't last. About 3 or 4 months, it starts fading. Then people just get fed up and they trade back into the committee again. So that was when I sat down and then I did, a whole research trying to see what precisely I can use on the tie to make it look good. But then I realized people were using African print, which was too common. And as a vendor, I don't like common things. Then I started using ropes, the local ropes down. Locally, they did it upon Chen during Christmas. the local Sisa ropes. Then I started weaving around it, and now
it's become a thing that people it's simple ideas, right? Such as all that we've heard, but can become a multi-billion dollar industry. Joshua, you've done stuff on the continent.
Yeah, I have some here.
Yeah, so what are these that I see in front of you?
Okay, so this is a smart smoke detector.
Smart what?
Smart smoke detector.
Okay.
And this can detect gas leakage, fire, and then smoke.
Okay.
This can also be done real time. So even if you travel outside Ghana, you can still monitor whatever happens in your kitchen. We collect data from gases and temperature. So whenever there's fire in the house, temperature in the kitchen also goes high. So with temperature and humidity data, and with machine learning or artificial intelligence, we're able to predict what is happening in your kitchen.
So there is AI in that?
Yes, please.
That is done by you sitting in Ghana?
Everything was built right here in Ghana.
Okay, now, so here's the thing. AI is a big deal across the world, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then that's not the only thing you've done. You've also done the monitoring of the electrical appliance, and I think it's great for
that's
people like myself, very busy. Sometimes I come back and I realize that I haven't turned something off, but I could do that remotely.
The beauty is not just about turning them off, but the data you collect, especially on your consumption. If you know how much your light consume, your fridge, you'll be able to budget for electricity. So, for instance, you could buy a fridge that costs you like 1,000 cedis, and you have to buy power like 50 cedis for your fridge. But over a period of time, maybe you might end up paying 100 cedis in electricity.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you are consuming 100 cedi worth of electricity. It could happen that the fridge has developed fault on the board. That's why it's consuming that much. So you're able
this tool can give you all
if
that.
you're able to collect that data over time, you can predict whether your fridge is consuming that much, because it used to consume 50 cedis. Now it has jumped to 100 cedis. Then it can help you call attention of the repairer to fix it for you. You can also predict lifespan of your appliances, like your iron, your fridge, your light bulbs. Any appliances you have, we'll be able to predict that.
Now here's my thing, and I'll come to you shortly from the ministry, because I know you're doing a lot of things to try and assist. Here's my thing: all these fantastic ideas I've heard. If you're in Silicon Valley, there'll be no doubt somebody will be investing in you right now. You'll probably be able to start up worth at least $1 million and over. I think I read somewhere that the thing is worth you. One of the things that all the startups
exactly.
Which one is that?
That's a smart vehicle. So we're trying to connect our vehicles to the internet.
Smart vehicle.
Yeah.
In Ghana.
Yeah. So the smart had to do with collecting. Our vehicle had a lot of data in them. When I say data, I mean information.
When you say our vehicle, what do you mean?
Like the vehicle we use, like the combustion fuel.
As in every vehicle. Okay, yes.
There's a lot of data that's set in the ECU of the vehicle, but out of it they show only fuel, your seatbelt on the dashboard. So if we could collect that data in the vehicle, we can predict every fault that happens to the vehicle. We could predict accident. We could predict like anything that happened to the car. We're able to predict that.
Is that artificial intelligence?
With the artificial intelligence.
Oh, you do that in Ghana?
Yes. Please.
And you said that is a business that is worth what?
What? Over $1 million.
Okay, but that's the story, and Matilda and Emily, that's the story I want to drive at, the Ghanaian dream, right? Because if all these ideas were in Silicon Valley right now, the two of you, Matilda and Emily, the two of you probably be the most sought after people.
I tell you.
In terms of investors trying to put money in you, because it's a global problem that you solve with the sanitary pads that's cheap, affordable, anybody can use. The world is struggling to find a solution to. You have found a solution, and you're sitting in Ghana right now. What is your own dream? What do you want to go with this? Where do you want to go with this?
When I was in senior high, my dream was to be a medical doctor.
Okay, speak up. Speak up.
When I reached university, and I was actually offered the opportunity to read civil engineering by a scholarship, MasterCard Foundation scholarship. So my dream was to become a civil engineer, an environmental engineer. And now I have a new dream. That's to produce sanitary pads out of locally made material. So
you want to stay local or you want to go global? What is the dream? What is your Ghanaian dream with the sanitary pads you've invented?
It's been lovely to go global.
No.
With this,
it's been lovely. I want you to speak like it's something you've thought of and you believe you can get there. The way you said it is like, maybe, that's what I'm driving at. What is your Ghanaian dream? Do you have one? But that's the thing. Do you have one? Do you have a Ghanaian dream? Tell me the Ghanaian dream. I'm curious.
Okay, so my own dreams and ambitions and visions is to become one of the leading African women researchers.
Okay.
In Ghana and then globally as well.
Okay. With the sanitary pads you've invented, what do you want to do with it?
Okay, so actually with the help that we recently acquired, we are going to start upscaling it and then start producing it here first locally, then expand it globally.
Okay. You are a co-inventor. I want to hear yours as well. What do you want to do with the invention? Yeah?
So as Emily rightly said, we'll start with mass production here in Ghana.
Okay.
We'll see how people patronize the sanitary pad, and then we'll upscale it and then go globally.
You speak up for me. You see, the way you said it, you will see how... I'm telling you, the research out there shows this is probably the most sought after sanitary in any part of the world. India, 113 million people. The government was so scared. They want to put money into it and solve the problem. UN is looking for that solution as well. 1 in 10, they've investigated and said it's a problem. She says she says that the idea is to, as you said, start small and see if we can go big, etc., etc. 10 years from now, right? Where do you want to see the banana sanitary pad? Where do you want to see it? You want to see it on the shelves of Walmart, Sainsbury's?
10 years is quite far off.
Thank you very much. Good. Thank you very much. That's good. So tell me, what is that? What is the picture?
Okay, so now we import all our sanitary pads here in Ghana.
True.
All the brands are imported.
True.
And so you said from 10 years from now.
No. I mean, she says it's just 10 years is too far away.
Okay, what I see is that all existing sanitary brands that are imported into the country will be banned, and then ours would yes.
Be the thing that takes over.
Yes.
Okay, so
I think banning them will be really drastic measures. So we're actually hoping that not hoping. So we are actually designing sanitary pads which should be aesthetically appealing and attractive to our own people.
Okay.
Because that's really motivate them to purchase our product in the first place. So.
Yeah,
and also our target is to actually produce sanitary pads which is less costly than the usual ones that we have.
Which is
the standard
unique,
product the standard price for the sanitary pads that we have is basically the least 5 cedis, and then highest we can get as small as 10 Ghana. So we actually design sanitary pads which are really costly, which is cost effective.
So that's your dream for the sanitary pads.
Okay,
I'll come back and test all of you. The confidence level, knowing where you live, your geographic location. This is Ghana, by the way, with all the challenges that you have. And then I'll come to what the ministry is doing to help you. Joshua, what is your Ghanaian dream?
I'm happy.
You should have it now. Like what I say, you come.
Yeah, I'm happy you're asking me that because I spent 18 years of my life in the village.
18.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I came to Accra 2012 to live my dream, and when I came, I had a picture of what I want. But getting it was really hard. So my Ghanaian dream was to see, because I'm from the tech space, technology rules the world, right?
Yeah.
So in our generation, there are emerging technologies coming up. We have the artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, the blockchain, the cybersecurity, 3D printing, and the rest. This is what is the next big thing in our generation. So it's my dream that Ghana can be the forefront of these emerging technologies in Africa.
And your role in that will be what?
To spearhead that.
Okay. In which one? Is it the 3D printing?
All emerging technologies.
All emerging.
So I have a community called IoT Network Hub, and we have over 2,000 members here in Ghana. We have started a chapter in Gambia, Nigeria, Kenya, and Rwanda. So our dream is to build these innovation communities across Africa continent, and together we'll be able to solve all the problems we face in our continent.
So you want Ghana to be the
forefront within that.
So the hub of emerging technologies, and
Africa.
You were going to be the face of that
with my communities.
With your communities,
we're going to solve all our problems.
Do you have a time frame within which you want to achieve this dream?
Okay, so a community have been running for the past 2.5 years, and all these innovations that I'm showing you, and a lot that are on the pipeline coming, are built by the teams from the communities. So our obsession is to solve most of the problems we're facing locally, because I believe that problems that we're facing are opportunity in disguise.
True.
If we can turn them into opportunities, we could build so many businesses that could go global.
Absolutely.
So that's my dream, to see that happening.
Okay, great. Yes, Mr. Tai. What's your dream?
Well, thank you so much. If this was an exam, I would just copy from him. Yes, precisely.
Vandals don't do that.
Precisely. But I mean, the whole thing for me as an upcycler and a recycler is have the hub that he's talking about here in Ghana. I mean, the narrative should be a Ghanaian. Because I'm indirectly selling my country too. We shouldn't be known for other things, political problems and all that. I mean, things should start emerging from Africans. So what I want to do is set up my business here in Ghana, get as many branches as possible, indirectly employ more people, because this is handwork.
Branches in Ghana?
Yes, a lot of branches. This is handwork. So once it's handwork, obviously you have a lot of people coming in, and I'm looking at mostly dropout women. I will not say disabled women. I mean, not at all.
Why not? I mean, anybody, any
Charlie,
Ghanaian who
nowadays you say some things, Masa.
No, just I get what you want to say. Anybody who can do the job, you're not discriminating.
Precisely.
Female, male, disabled.
Precisely.
You give a job to.
So the whole aim is get these people on the street. These guys who are begging on the street. You see this one with the arm like that begging on the street. Get all these people on board. Train them. Work. Have an in-service training. Take them back to the classrooms, because at the end of the day, we believe we can do this thing Saturdays and Sundays. So Mondays to Fridays, I don't see why someone should not be in the classroom.
Yeah.
You get it? So that's the whole thing then. Get a hub here in Ghana. Extend to other African countries. The production center should be here. The farthest we can go is any African country.
Okay.
Then we export it back to the people outside Ghana and inside Ghana. And because the money should stay here.
Okay, so but that's my point. You've restricted yourself to Ghana and Africa.
In Africa.
Why not the world?
Production is Ghana and Africa.
Okay, but then
the world is for consumption.
Okay, so you get it. But I didn't hear you say you export from Africa to the rest of the world.
Oh, okay, then I use a word that I shouldn't. Then did you understand it?
Oh, okay. From Ghana to Africa and to the rest of the world.
And to the rest of the world.
But that for me, the hesitation there is what I want to probe, right? Because if you go to Silicon Valley today and you speak to any of the guys like you who've invented stuff, some of the stuff they've invented is not as jaw-dropping as well as what you guys have done, and you say, what's your American dream? Within 1 second, that guy will tell you he wants to become the next Steve Jobs and take over the world. And
you see, there's a reason why they say that.
Tell me.
Their people consume whatever they have willingly. Do you get it? But here, it's a bit difficult, and I don't blame the consumers as well. The aesthetic thing you were talking about, the quality, and also it is not our fault as young entrepreneurs with the quality, because at the end of the day, we also not getting the necessary support that we can also have.
I see somebody here. Somewhere here. I'll come and ask what the
So that's what the problem is, because you do. Let me limit it to myself, because I know what I'm doing. I'll do a table. It's nice. I wasted about 2 weeks to finish making that table, but the quality itself, the finishing, is not something that personally I would like.
Okay.
And it's not because I can't do it, but the means to is the problem.
You just don't have it.
I just don't have it.
Okay.
But you see yours, which is even durable, nicer than something from Lebanon, Egypt,
wherever,
sitting in Okadeco, sitting in Furniture City with some skyrocketing prices. But then people will just be rushing and be buying that other than buying yours, and you can't blame them.
You say that the difference between that and yours is that they have the support, their systems are well established, they can get a loan, they can get whatever funding. You can't, and so you struggle.
Yes, we are struggling. You are not staying there, but we are struggling to just make things
Joshua.
With regards to what you just asked, I believe that Africa is the next frontier. So if I'm targeting
how
Africa,
long you've been saying that?
You
know how long you've been saying Africa rising?
30 years. According to World Bank, in the next 20-30 years, Africa is going to be the largest and fastest growing continent.
They keep shifting the years. It's been saying Africa rising for the last 10 years.
But we are the major consumers. We are the major consumers of all the foreign products. So it means the larger market is in Africa.
Okay.
And all the natural resources are in Africa.
We've known this for a long time.
Exactly. So if we can build our capacity to turn them into something great, then opportunities are here in Africa.
Yes, but so somebody said who said You agree with something he said. Explain.
Okay, so first, when we're developing a prototype for the sanitary pad, because the pads we have here is not produced made here, we had difficulty in terms of getting the actual shape of it, what to compress it. The fiber, after you've extracted the fiber, it becomes bulky. You need to press it for it to become flat and all that. We had difficulty because most of the machines were not available for us. Yes, so that is the difficulty aspect.
Okay, so do I hear you if you're saying that the environment here doesn't allow you to become the big Bill Gates of the future? Will make it difficult for you to become.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the environment here should drive us to become the next.
So why don't we have it here? Because you're sitting here. If you're in Silicon Valley, Christ, you should be.
All
You
right.
should be
He
west.
keeps referring to
So
Silicon Valley.
economically.
I'm wondering what's in Silicon Valley. He keeps referring
Oh,
to.
okay.
So I was wondering what is in
Is it
Silicon
Silicon
Valley.
Valley?
What is in
Referring to-
Silicon Valley? Well, I mean, Silicon Valley is the hub of technology anywhere in the world. That's where all these Google is, Facebook is. That's where all of them started. If you have a great idea, that's where you want to go because people are going to come and put money in you because you are in Silicon Valley alone. They created Silicon Valley for that purpose. It didn't. It's an organic creation. But then the government thought, well, listen, let's put money in there. Everybody goes there.
So
to
don't
do
you think we can create one here in Ghana, Africa?
Makola.
One here already.
Makola Valley.
I mean, that's the kind of dream
Yeah,
I
well,
live.
Silicon Valley.
but that's the thing. I'm going to go onto the phone line shortly, but let me bring you in, Irene, because you've had a conversation.
Yes.
And towards the end, you see the uneasiness with stating a bold, ambitious, global dream, because we are aware of our challenges,
Yes.
right? And he started by articulating them, right? What is it that the ministry is doing? I mean, you give me your reaction to that, for example, general reaction to that.
Honestly, I'm not very surprised, but that I would say is the reason why we have a ministry such as ours. And at the Ministry of Business Development, we've targeted interventions towards the various groups that we have, be it women, persons with disability, the youth, to see how we can unearth the entrepreneurial spirit within them. My minister always makes a statement, Dr. Awao, about how we need to get more Dangotes, even locally, how we can get more of the Leroy cable, companies like that. And we realize that, especially when we look at young women such as this, they're usually a bit, I don't know whether it's intimidation or the way we've been orientated. You realize that a lot of girls are not going to STEM in that. So we are trying to get more women to get into all areas. And at the Ministry of Business Development, we look at the entire ecosystem as to how we can get the youth especially into entrepreneurship, to switch them from just thinking about finishing school and going to look for a job to creating your own job. That's why we have interventions such as the SEI, Schools Entrepreneurship Initiative. With that, at the tertiary and the secondary level, we try to, we've actually created a curriculum for them where we teach them the entrepreneurial spirit, how to get into business right in school. We've created clubs there where we teach them basic bookkeeping, how to set up a business, registration and things like that, just so that at that age they can start thinking about how they can create more jobs, which in essence is what the ministry is for. So, and for programs like the presidential page that we just with our ladies actually shone brightly, and I'm very happy you keep referring to the Silicon Valley, because that's where we see them. For the SEI, School Entrepreneurship Initiative that we are going to do, we are looking at linking the successful schools to Silicon Valley, like be it a hub in London, wherever you find around the world.
It's a very good idea had come up. What about Makola Valley?
There's Makola Valley.
What about
we can do Makola Valley.
What about
At the moment,
Silicon Valley here in Ghana?
You know, the inventor for the fiber optics.
Yes.
Yeah,
I spoke to him yesterday, actually.
Yes.
For this call, but he was very busy.
Dr.
He couldn't
Mensah.
talk to us. Yes, Dr. Mensah.
He's actually set up Silicon Valley Ghana, and they're doing wonderful things.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's what I don't like.
Yes.
Say again.
That is what I don't like.
What don't you like?
Silicon Valley Ghana. Makola Valley Ghana.
No, we can do that, but
Localized
Silicon
stuff.
Valley, no, we localize stuff. For instance, it's similar to what we've just done by building the World Business Angels here.
Yeah.
We managed to get them here. That is what it's there, but we can later on try to do local content. Get it to that. There's a different, and this is an appendage sort of from Silicon Valley that we all know of. So it's not like you can't just bash it. It's something
I'm not bashing it. I'm citing my opinion that if you
but as
should
a young
localize
man,
stuff,
you can start something. He has come up with a hub, a tech hub himself. You can also come up with one yourself and call it Makola Hub, however you want it.
That's fine. I'll take the challenge.
Yes.
Irene, let me ask you a very frank question, right? You mentioned Dangote. And we all know Dangote.
Yes.
I'm just, when you said it, I'm like, so where is our, I'm not even going to say Bill Gates, or I'm going to say, where is our Dangote? And if you ask me, I can tell you. And I'm just curious to know, doesn't that, I guess, point to a fundamental problem? Even here,
Yes.
state the dream. and there's a fear of there's almost a hesitation
to dream big.
Yes, like to say I'm gonna, what do you think that is? Is that an acceptance that we are great, but because of geographic and environmental and where we are born as a country and the lack of help that the system doesn't isn't there, we just know that we will just, our dream will stay local and eventually to follow up. Yesterday or 2 days ago I was moderating a program, The Graphic Business, and the PwC researchers said most startups, 60% startups will die in 5 years in Ghana. 60% will die in 5 years in Ghana, and that was alarming. There's a reason why we are not getting there. This fundamentally, the help isn't there, the environment isn't right for these brilliant young minds.
That's why we are here. That's why the Ministry of Business Development is here. Unfortunately, a lot of our youth have resigned to the fact that it's impossible to reach those heights. That's why our interventions are targeted at getting to them when they're very, very young. So they can start having this paradigm shift. It's possible. It's possible.
Point me the example.
We need to create them. Okay. There's a problem. We're now working on how we can get them get them to start thinking differently. There's a course that we also have a program called the Presidential Business Support, and they go through this rigorous training, entrepreneurial training. And before you come out of that, you start thinking differently. You start believing that you can actually do it. And this is what we're trying to put them all through, right from a very young age, that you can actually rival the Mark Zuckerbergs of the world.
Seriously?
And yes, and
I thought people are driving, listen to them. Come on.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Are you serious? Like a Ghanaian going to come on.
Yes, they do.
A lot of people are going to be that skeptical.
The inventions that these young people here have come out with.
Yeah.
When I went through,
as good as any I've heard, by the way.
Yes. When I went through most of the applications that we get from the competitions that we just did, I'm just in awe of what the youth of Ghana can come up with.
Absolutely.
And we need to harness that, and we do not want them to slip through. Unfortunately, we don't have as much resources to support each and every single one of them.
I think Joshua disagrees. Say you have every resource in Ghana. Yes.
Okay. No, you can't. No, if I can finish it. We can't support everybody. But what we do is when we identify people like Matilda and Emily here, what we do is handhold them and facilitate most of the terrain is a bit rough, so we handhold them to go through that, and that's what
I'm going to go around and come back to you about. I want to hear specifics about. So, for example, Matilda and Emily, specific, they want to upskill. So they want to upskilling means you have to produce more. What is the direct support beyond the 100,000 you got or 70,000 you got to get them to actually produce on the scale and get all these state agencies helping them to produce, to solve our local problems because they have millions of girls dropping out of school. I want to see that. I want to ask you, I'll come back to that shortly, and all of them as well. Yes, you have to say.
Yes, so what I wanted to say with regards to what Madam is saying, I mean, she's right with what the government is doing. It's nice, but the problem with we young entrepreneurs is that fear. The political business environment in Ghana here is not that favorable. Unfortunately, we can't differentiate between politics and business. So there's that fear. Hey, this government coming to support me this time, if they leave power, what is going to happen? Because you see, that whole rivalry politics is so deepened inside the minds of the average Ghanaian that if Party A brings up something to lift you up and Party A leaves and Party B comes, what is going to happen? I know this is a bit of a childish thinking, but that's the reality. That is what we are facing. That is what is killing businesses here in Ghana. That fear. You get it? So if that environment will be made clean,
devoid of neutral, just look at the merit, the quality of the idea, and just the state should sponsor it.
Precisely.
That's the point I'm making. It will give a lot of encouragement to young ones to venture in there.
Precisely.
So that if I'm benefiting from the presidential pitch, and then
no one is going to attack you in any way.
And then under this government, you're helping Emily and Asantewaa to grow and upscale when that political structure changes in the next election, that help should continue regardless of who is there. I think that's the point he's making.
That's how it should be.
That's how it should, but that's not how it is in reality. And so people say, what if I start this and I get this help, and so that doubt creates a problem also. I'm going to go onto the phone lines and connect to Alfred Sapone J. Is Alfred on the line connecting from Kumasi? I think. Hello, Alfred.
Hi. Good evening.
Good evening, Alfred. Alfred, I understand you are the man behind the invention, the seat occupancy system that is able to tell us, track the number of people occupying a commercial vehicle. I mean, the intended purpose is to track revenue leakage, mostly talked about by vehicle owners.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm the man. I had help from Hassan Mazu and Jamal Isa, two very motivated people. But yes, I was part of the group that developed that system.
And I was thinking about it, that apart from the fact that it can track revenue, I mean, one of the biggest problems we have locally is accidents, gory accidents, because drivers are overloading their vehicles. That could, and what? How does it work? I can sit remotely and monitor everything that happens in the car?
Yes. Well, so there are basically two aspects to the system: the hardware part and the software part. Basically, we have capacitive plates in the vehicles that track the number of occupants, and depending on the time they sit for and the distance they travel, it calculates the fare. So yes, you could use the system to track overloading, given that it tracks the number of occupants in the vehicle. Hello?
Yeah, I mean that sounds fantastic. And so, where are you with it? Is it something that you are making money off now already?
No. It was actually a final year project idea.
How long ago was this?
Just in May, actually.
Just in May. Do you have ambitions of turning it going commercial with this?
Well, I would have loved to have it go commercial, but then it's in the school's hands now, because every final year project belongs to the school, so we'll have to ask KNUST about that.
But that is the point. That's the conversation we've been having. A great invention. We need it now. We need it like yesterday, and you're not even sure what is going to happen with it.
Yeah.
Oh, say yeah. I mean, I thought you were going to say no. I'm gonna. I mean, but
well,
yeah.
The truth is, I am not sure what is going to happen, because I can't do anything about it. I can make an appeal to the school to.
But you know what? I schooled in London. No British US student who finishes school and that's what you've done. You ask this question off. We say, "Oh, I'm in the school." I can bet you, no student out your age of your peer will say you will articulate what you're saying. They will be absolutely confident that they've done the work at school. It's theirs. In the school market. When I finish, I'm taking this up, and I'm going. In fact, what did Mark Zuckerberg do? They fell out of school. Right? Bill Gates, same story. Took the idea out. The rest is history. What is it about us that we cannot just state and to be bold and take the idea and just do it? I'm curious.
If to be honest, I think, the country, we have to jump through too many bureaucratic hoops to get something done, because for a project like this one, I mean, any technologically inclined person would see the benefits and get it done right away. But then, I guess this country isn't as technologically inclined, as we'd hope, because it's probably. I mean, I know I sound pessimistic, but then it's probably going to end up on some shelf somewhere.
Oh goodness!
In some office.
You just broke my heart, but you just spoke the truth. I mean, you broke my heart, but you spoke the truth. Honestly, it's a reality. So let me ask you the question I've asked all day. What's your Ghanaian dream with this particular invention? What is it? State it for me. Yes. Just state your Ghanaian dream for me. What is it?
To be honest, I listened to the Ghanaian dreams of the my fellow inventors in the studio. And, well, I don't think I have anything as extravagant as their dreams. But then I would like, in 5 years, for the population to be at least interested in viewing these solutions as actual solutions, not just as something some students did somewhere. The population has to.
Yeah, I mean, but I know the way you're stating the dream, it's not about you. It's about it's about somebody else, you know. But I'm talking about your personal dream. What is it? Do you have one?
Technological dream?
No, not technological dream. Your personal dream. And when you say, "I'm hoping that the population don't control the population." No. You know what I mean? I mean, you can't dream about. That's not a dream. I mean that is hope. You know, I don't even understand the difference. Well, but your dream, when you ask an American, what is your American dream? Oh my goodness!
You want to change the world.
Within 1 second, he's told you.
Well, okay. Well, if I had to.
It's okay. I get it. But that is an illustration of the problem, right? What do you think that, as we wrap up, what do you think it would take to change? You have a great idea. All my friends in the studio have great idea. What would it take to make us bolder, but also get us to a point where we could say with confidence that we can rival our peers in the US and the UK, etc., in the world, and become multimillionaires and billionaires because we invented something that the world needs?
Yeah. Well, first of all, it has to start with the people's mindset, and I think it has to start with the next generation, or the generation after that, the children. We have to start inculcating it into their education, really, that it is possible to do this, and the people in Harvard or the people in Princeton or wherever, London, the Zuckerbergs and people in Silicon Valley aren't different from us.
Yeah, and we are the same. In fact, sometimes even better. What do you say yourself? I mean, to this. There's a final thought about how do we change this? Because you listen. I'm sure you are.
I'm sad.
Exactly.
I'm sad at just how negative. I mean, after coming up with something as great such as this, for him to feel that way. But that's why I believe it's something that we need to make concerted efforts to address.
I mean, this is the problem.
That's why we're saying going into schools and trying to get them to actually believe it. And part of it is not just about if you start off by saying that the system is not going to allow me, and because of that you're not going to push forward, then you will not get anywhere. Because even when there are investors available to support you, just by hearing the way you're talking about something you're supposed to be passionate about, they might not support you. But if you just allow me, that's why just a few days ago, the Ministry of Business Development, we set up the World Business Angels Forum here in an office here in Accra, and it's supposed to support inventions like what we have here and what they're supposed to do. Yes, and
please, when you finish, I'll take
that's what they're doing. And it's an international organization, and what they do is they're investors from all over the world who have a lot of cash and they want to invest their monies into efforts such as what you're doing here. And if you have something like this and you want support for it, once you're able to justify your case,
where should they go? I mean, there are thousands of Ghanaians with great ideas like this in the studio who want to take advantage of what you just said. What should they do?
For now, they should come to the Ministry of Business Development. They can also find us if you can. I think
they should look for Irene, right?
They should come to the ministry. I mean, we're all there to help. You can also find us www.mobd.gov.gh. You can social media handles Ministry of Business Development. You can search for us and you can find us.
By the way, I mean for the two lovely girls here who did it, what is the plan going for the very brief in 30 seconds to get them to their dream of making this a continental but global product?
First of all, what we are going to do, the reason why they were chosen is because we realized that what they had was innovative, it was feasible, it's scalable and impactful. successful.
Absolutely.
It ticks all those boxes. So because of that, we'll handhold them. What we do is we'll go through a business plan, create a proper business plan for them, and it will be a roadmap to how we're going to get them.
Are you going to put money into this? Because
definitely.
You need money. Okay.
And for last year's winners, we are still
not 100,000. This
not
one needs. This one needs.
No, you need to get them
amount of money.
Evans, you need to get them to a certain level before you can really scale up.
Okay, but you're going to be with them all the way.
We'll handhold them
from the 100,000 to 200,000 to the million.
Definitely.
It
just comes down to them and how much they want to succeed.
Thank you for connecting. And a few of you who joined us on social media. This one says Ghana is actually a million light years away from the next Einstein because Ghana does not value Ghanaians. Well, that's a view there. I had the most painful lesson in this sphere when back in 2003, a year after my university education, I created an e-commerce system that could enable anyone in Ghana do business with people worldwide. And I approached a financial institution for funding with my blueprint. Cutting long story short, they put me in the go today, come tomorrow loop. Finally, after months of frustration, I saw that same system launched by someone else in this country. Government and financial institutions are not interested in the backing indigenous innovation in direct contrast to what obtains elsewhere. That's his Piper from sharing his thoughts. Wow, you invented something, Daniel Dadzi? You didn't invent anything. You say you want to what? You want a shout out? Okay, Daniel says he wants a shout out because he's invented a super morning show. Enjoy the rest of your evening, gentlemen. Thank you for connecting.